Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for sticking along this far. It's starting to get really exciting as it comes together, but I'm a little bit behind. I went out and took my other camper out and spent a couple weeks in the bush. Just a little recharge. It was a lot of fun. Makes those mini campers worth it. So stick to it. Build one for yourself. You'll love it. So one thing that in this next segment, I'm building the bed frame. This is what sets my campers apart from the other mini campers. They all have beds on the floor, directly on the floor, and I don't deal well with that. So I've built an aluminum bed frame, so I have some storage underneath, and I'm up off the floor. And some of the main reasons, I just want to have a place to put my boots, step up into the cabin without actually taking all my mud or snow or mush into the actual bed itself. And I'm not leaving my boots outside at -40. So anyway, stay tuned. I'm going to build this piece. It should be reasonably short. Thanks for tuning in. You're going to love this. I'm Scott from Realistic Outdoors. So making this bed frame, I'm still recycling some aluminum from the sign frame that I got earlier. All from the episode I was making the trailer frame, that I was able to salvage a frame from the sign guys to make the base of the camper from. Well, you can see here, there's an extra piece on it on the other side, and that's the piece I cut down here to make the bed frame. The bed frame is the perfect width, but it was about 4 inches too long. So I'm marking out here about 4 inches inside of the end corner and another 4 inches on there so that I can remove 4 inches from this piece. Now that I have it measured out, I'm going to try and recip saw this piece off as straight as I can here and get this end cut off, and then I'm going to remove, like I said, 4 inches from it, and then I'm going to use something a little interesting to make it sturdy. And now to cut a few inches off of each end to shorten it. This isn't working very well. Okay, so let's try something with the clamp. There we go. That works so much better. I get these 4 inches cut off and shorten this baby up. Okay, so I don't have an aluminum welder at home to join this for good strength, so I insert an aluminum square bar stock into each end long enough to give me 4 inches on each side. This is a piece of tape to keep it from sliding in while I was adding some screws. For extra strength, I added an 8-inch piece of aluminum angle to the underside and clamped it into place. Once it was clamped, I pre-drilled some small pilot holes to secure it, and then I ran some tapping screws into it. Once I have a couple screws firmly attached to the sides, I turned it over and added a couple to each side of the bottom of the angles. So the angles ended up with 4 screws in total. These screws are all penetrating the frame, the angle, and the piece of aluminum bar stock I put inside. And now for the strength test. Not a single flex. Perfect. I stuck it into the camper for a test fit and it looks good. Rivets were the best choice for this piano hinge to get it to close perfectly. And on the lid side, I'm using flattened screw heads. I use this a lot in the camper build because of the low profiles that they had, shown here up in the picture in the right hand corner. Now I'm going to rip some plywood to the correct width for the bed top, and now using my Kreg track saw guide, I'm going to cut it to length.
Is this what laying in a coffin feels like?
No.
Okay.
This is.
I find out real quick when I...
Hey guys, it takes a lot of time to do this. Not that I mind doing it, because I'm going to do it anyway. It's a lot of fun to help put on more of this in the future. If you could like and subscribe and make as many comments as you like. I reply to everything. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in there and just smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to see all the more, and don't forget to ring the bell, whichever one it is. Ring the bell, set it up so that you'll hear when the next one's due. They should be coming about every 7 days. Thanks very much.
Yep. Oh my god.
Higher stool.
Death sentence.
That's fine for me. And the doors. Yeah, so that actually gives me a place to put my feet. So maybe I'll build an actual slide out. That's actually not a bad idea. You know those little steps. So I'm sitting right now. I'm sitting tall. Got room for my hat and a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of space. And just a bit of fine tuning with the sander so the lid will open perfectly without any issues. Somewhere in the future episode, I needed to cut it back a bit on the top to accommodate the beautiful cedar trim that I add. I might have mentioned it earlier about only opening half, and I didn't show me cutting it down, so I decided to make this open on the main side by the door, as there were issues with the lid and the shelf that I'll add later down at the end of the bed. The split made it more sense anyway, so I can pull the storage out as I had planned, like normal. But the main amount of storage will be right at my door, so I can lean in and get all the stuff that I need. Love when it starts to come together. I added a few 1.5 by 1.5 corner brackets to keep it in place, and I screwed them to the wood floor and then onto the bed frame itself. And now for the first touch of class, I'm adding some mahogany hardwood flooring. Engineered, that is. Just had to notch out a few pieces to go around some of the stuff that I have on the floor mounted already, like the bedpost. Once I was done that, it was quick, easy install. I didn't want to snap together in place on the floor, so I put it up on the bed top, snapped it all together, and then I slid it in under the floor. Luckily the walls still aren't up. Made it so much easier. And now I want to cut a strip of birch plywood to the length of the front of the face of the bed frame to cover the front of the bed. Quick sand around the edges to remove any splinters. And then I fastened the face to the aluminum frame using some construction adhesive, and then held it in place with tape until it dried. I'll just give you a quick update. So I got the mahogany floor, backwards so I can. Mahogany floor on the inside, so when you come in or open the door, the whole side of the bed is birch, just like the wall. Underneath this bed is going to be my heat ventilation. It's going to come in from that end, and there's going to be two vents. One that blows this way to dry my clothes, which will hang there, and one that'll be in front of the door, which will kind of heat the area that I am. But also there'll be a tiny vent sticking one or two underneath here. So this box will actually stay warm because there's no insulation underneath. And I really didn't want to build up too much more because I'm trying to keep it light. I only put hardwood on that side to balance some of the weight. I got thinking about it, and you're not going to see it anyway. So I'm going to paint this out brown, and so this actually balances the weight of that, and almost perfectly. So this will be heated up as well, so I could leave some clothes or whatever in here. At that end, there's going to be a drawer that comes this way, and that drawer will house the batteries and all that system and stuff for the lights and stuff, and for the diesel heater, maybe. I think I still might keep the diesel heater battery outside just for space and size, but there is room down in the drawer to put the battery. So anyway, that's where I am for tonight. Tomorrow I guess I'll do some insulation, or maybe cut the boards for the ceiling. I just want to make sure I'm finishing the inside, because once I put the boards up, it'll be hard to get bigger items in like this stuff here. So I might just finish the drawer slide painting first, and then put the roof on. So anyway, you guys have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Hey guys, that was just a quick one. Thanks for tuning in today. The bed frame is so important, but now that it's in, we're gonna put the insulation up, and then the walls and the roof, and it's just gonna come together so fast. I really appreciate you guys sticking to and watching all the way to here, and thanks very much. I appreciate it. And tight lines, and get out there and do some camping. I'm Scott from Realistic Outdoors.